The whisper in the silence. What if the voice of God isn't what you expect? What if it's quieter than your anxiety? Let me take you to a desert, dry and endless, where the sun bleaches bones and the wind carries ghosts. Here, a man named Elijah collapses under a broom tree. His cloak is dust. His lungs ache with every breath. Just days ago, he stood fearless before fire and fury, but now the noise is too loud. The cheers of crowds turn to screams of enemies. The crackle of holy flame drowned out by the click of a queen's dagger on stone. So he runs. 40 days into the wilderness, 40 nights under stars that feel more like judges than companions. His prayers are not eloquent, just 3 ragged words: take my life. But God doesn't answer with lightning. Instead, he gives Elijah a mountain. Not a metaphor, a real jagged peak that scrapes the sky. And here in the thin air, God asks a question that echoes in the canyon of every human heart. Why are you here, Elijah? Elijah recites his resume. I've been faithful, I've been bold, I've been alone. God says nothing. Then the wind, not a breeze, a hurricane. It tears rocks from the earth like petals from a rose. Elijah clings to the cliffside, tasting salt and sand. But God isn't in the wind. Next, the earthquake. The ground splits like rotten fruit. Elijah's knees bleed, his teeth rattle. But God isn't in the earthquake. Then the fire. It swallows the sky, painting the mountain red. Elijah shields his eyes, feeling the heat blister his skin. But God isn't in the fire. And then, not the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness. The kind that makes your ears ring. The kind that unties the knots in your shoulders. And in that silence, a whisper. Not in Hebrew, not in thunder, but in the language Elijah's soul understands. Peace, be still, I am here. Maybe you're here because your world is too loud. The ding of notifications, the roar of expectations, the whispered lies that you're not enough. But what if God's voice isn't another task on your to-do list? What if it's the breath you take before you speak? The pause between songs on your playlist? The space between stars on a sleepless night? Elijah's story isn't about hearing God. It's about unlearning how to listen. You don't need a mountain, just a moment. Turn down the noise. Let your heartbeat slow. And ask the question Elijah did, God, why am I here? The answer won't drown you. It'll sound like home. If this quiet found you when you needed it, subscribe for more peace in the noise. Drop a hat in the comments. What's drowning out your whisper today? And remember, you're heard, even in the silence.